Hello and welcome. In this video, we will discover 12 signs a girl likes you but is trying not to show it. Does this person like me, or it's my overactive imagination making me wish for things that aren't true? This is a question anyone with a crush has asked themselves at least once. The girl you like could be wondering the same thing right now. We could talk about how there's nothing wrong with being honest and being denied what you want. But the truth is, most people don't like experiencing the emotions that follow rejection. If you could know what a person is thinking before baring your soul, why wouldn't you? Some people are just really good at hiding their feelings, so sussing out whether someone likes you or not is easier said than done. In fact, some people are so good at it that you risk the chance of never finding out. However, there are certain signs and actions that most people take and do. These actions give them away. No matter how good they are at hiding their feelings, some unconscious actions may make their thoughts clear. Let's take a look at 12 signs that a girl might be into you, she's just not showing it. Just before, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to download your free book to successfully seduce any girl by clicking on the link in the description below. 1. You see her looking. A lot can be ascertained about someone's feelings by how often their eyes wander to you. It is a clear sign that she is interested if the eye contact between you is oddly consistent. If you like someone, you like looking at them. If you don't, you probably end up trying your best to avoid eye contact with them. If her eyes rest on you every so often, even if she doesn't like you yet, there is some level of interest present. However, this situation is only valid in context. You have to keep in mind what is going on in your surroundings before claiming a person likes you. For example, if her eyes meet yours and she continues to maintain the contact, chances are she's interested. Not only that, she is pretty confident about her feelings towards you and isn't trying to hide them. She might even confess her feelings without you having to do anything. If you see her eyes moving down to your mouth, well, that's the clearest sign you can get that she's interested. If you find her looking at you and she immediately looks away, it could mean that while she's interested, she's on the shy side. Any attempt at dating would probably have to be on your end. Her eyes meet yours and she looks away, but her eyes scan the entire room instead? Then that's not a good sign. She could have just been observing the people around her and your eyes met hers at the wrong time. If this keeps frequently happening though, then you have more hope. Another neon sign that she likes you is when you're conversing in a group and your love interest says something. What does she do after saying it? Her eyes immediately land on you? Well, that's the most prominent sign you can get. She's checking if you find what she's saying funny or if you agree with her. And that's pretty much it. If the person finds you interesting and attractive, their eyes will turn to you against their will. It could be due to her trying to make you understand she's interested or because she's trying her best not to let her feelings show. 2. Apparently, you're funny. Now, no friend has ever been accused of being a bore, or maybe they have. You make jokes and sometimes they land, sometimes they don't. Your friends seem to like you enough to keep you around. This girl, though, to her, you are somehow the funniest person to exist. Now, that has to be love. If you were to start a competition of making the worst jokes with your friends and won, she would still find yours the funniest. Humor is the biggest indicator that a person finds you worth knowing. If you were to pay attention to your conversation and notice this playful banter involved, that's about as clear of a sign you are going to get. She's actually getting something out of talking to you. People who can take and make a joke are attractive. If your sense of humor doesn't tip to the side of mean, well, your attractiveness simply increases 10 times. 3. Mirroring. Yes, you've probably seen people say this enough times, and they say it because it's true. Mirroring is one of those clear signs that a person likes you. And this isn't just about unconsciously following your physical actions. It's about picking up on your mannerisms after knowing you for some time. This is about using the same slangs as you and even alternating her speech pattern to better match the pace of your way of speaking. This is related to knowing whether she looks at you or not. It is because she's observing you, whether consciously or unconsciously, that her actions and speech have started to imitate yours. She feels she understands you the more she talks to you. and her growing comfortable with you leads her to mirroring you. It is even more evident if you started talking about something as usual and then suddenly got excited about the subject. If she matches your energy and her speech pattern changes, then that's a clear sign. 4. Fidgeting. If there's this hint of nervousness and awkwardness present while she's talking to you that isn't there with her other friends, well, that's a good sign. If she's fidgeting around with anything within her reach, even more so. It could be intentional or involuntary on her part. Something like flipping her hair now and then, playing with it, wringing her hands, and closing the physical distance between you without necessarily invading your personal space. These can be some of the signs. A lot of the time, they have no idea that they're doing it. That's even better since it means they like you so much that they aren't in control of these small actions. Keep an eye out for these things, along with if you notice her blushing. You can test this one on the spot. Just compliment her and see if there's this pinkening of her cheeks. Now, some people just blush easily, so first, check whether she's the type to blush easily or if most things don't faze her. If it's the latter, then at the least, she's receptive towards you. 5. Interrogation. Not really. However, do you notice there's this interest radiating from her in trying to know you better? Is she asking questions? Does she want to know if you like chocolate? Or maybe it's deeper questions such as where do you want to be in your career in 10 years? Either way, you're getting lots of questions. If she has any feelings for you, she's likely to ask questions. More than that, it's proof she's waiting for you to open up. In return, she's also trying to let you know her better. There's also the fact that the more questions she asks, the conversation flows better. It means she wants to keep talking to you. An easier way to be sure is to see whether she tries to fill in awkward silences with questions. That means she doesn't want the conversation to end and even wants to have an easy chemistry with you. If she lets the silence hang, though, and doesn't pay much attention to whether you're talking or not, then the signals aren't good. 6. She talks about you. The simple matter is, if a girl likes someone, then the first person to know it is her friends. If you find yourself meeting her friends, then she sees the potential of a future with you. She's probably noticing if her friends find you acceptable as well. After getting an introduction, see if her friends try to leave you alone with her. If they try to encourage you to go after her, well, then you know for sure. This means her friends not only think you are good enough for her, but they are also aware that she has feelings for you. 7. She's making plans, and they involve you. If there's no attraction on her part, then she will make up some kind of excuse when you want to meet her. However, if you receive an enthusiastic response for when you want to do something with her, that's a good sign. If she's busy when you ask her to meet up, then even though she can't meet you then, she will make future plans. You will have a definite time and date for when you will see her again. 8. Constant communication. Do you two meet each other and then there's silence for days? That's a red stoplight for you. If she has any interest in you, communication on her part would be consistent. You won't go weeks without talking to each other. At most, there would be 2 days of communication gaps given she's busy, and even then, she might send you an emoji here and there. If you send her messages, do you get quick responses? More importantly, do those responses invite further conversation, or do they feel like a shutdown? If you get constant, thoughtful answers from her and on social media and messaging apps, she at least finds talking to you fun. 9. Talking weirdly. When you talk to her, does she tend to talk a lot? Or is it that she talks very little? Weirdly enough, both could be signs that she likes you. It could be that she wants to talk to you, but she's nervous, so she ends up saying less. Or it could be that her eagerness and her nerves are making her talk too much. How do you know which one is it? Well, see how she talks to other people. Does she have a habit of derailing conversations with her chatter? Does she give clipped responses to everyone? If how she talks to other people is consistent with how she talks to you, then there isn't much to write home about you. If how she talks to you is different from others, then there's interest on her part. 10. Touching. This is one of those things she does unconsciously. If she likes you, she would be touching you often. More importantly, she will try to remove the physical distance between you. If there are things between you two, she may remove them. Say there's a coffee mug, then she's suddenly removing it to sit close to you. That's a sign of encouragement you can rely on. 11. Pretend jealousy. You see her making jokes about you flirting with lots of girls. It may come off as a joke, but what she's trying to do is to see if you have anyone you're interested in. And she's most certainly hoping you don't. 12. Touching. People like touching those they like. For women, it comes off in the way they touch your arm. It could be that she's deliberately showing you she's interested, or she just finds herself touching you naturally. If these touches occur when there's no need for it, then that's a good sign. Final thoughts. You can try and see if someone likes you or not all you want. Ultimately, though, the only way you can be sure is if you ask them out. Yes, you risk rejection that way, but at least you have your answer. You can make up all kinds of theories about their actions, but you won't know anything for sure until you take the first step. You may spend days seeing if she's interested, only to find her lose interest in you if you take too long. So, you can just ask her out now. Rejection isn't nice, but it's not the worst thing in the world either. At least you can move on afterward. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, and especially subscribe to the channel. You're also free to receive the new book, 9 Keys to Seduce Any Girl, by clicking on the link in the description below.